Friday we had a 2-hour delay for the start of school. So I'm texting Kyle, our school principal over here. Oh, you can go back to bed. Oh, go play with the twins. They just had twins a couple months ago. Oh, how wonderful. Another couple days off, and on and on and on and on. And after about the 8th text back and forth, I realized I was texting the wrong Kyle. I have 3 Kyles on my phone, and I was texting one of the other ones who had no idea what I was talking about. And when he finally communicated that to me, it dawned on me, oh my goodness, I have the wrong one. So we laughed about that, and he said, but it's all part of God's providence. My wife and I had a baby boy last week, and we were going to call you this week to see if you could baptize him in June. So it all worked out in the end. I picked up a baptism for June. But anyway, in the gospel today, Jesus says kind of the same thing. Don't worry. If things get all combolicsed up, don't worry, because God can make good come out of weird. God can make smooth come out of awkward. God has a way of seeing the silver lining in every cloud. So last night I was at a gathering, and I bumped into a young man that I hadn't seen for probably, 20 years, I bet. And I said, well, bring me up to speed. What happened after you graduated from Bayport? What happened then? And he said, I had one of the biggest blows of my life. I was set my whole life on going to college at Madison, and I didn't get in. So I ended up going to Eau Claire. He said, but it was at Eau Claire that I met my wonderful wife. And he said how God can find beauty to come out of tragedy. He said, I was devastated, but I wouldn't change a thing. How wonderful that I met her. The challenge in the gospel this morning is for us to notice the beauty. Flowers, Jesus says in so many words, are really pretty useless. They can't toil, they can't spin, but even though they can't do anything, they're still very beautiful. Birds don't sow, they don't reap, they don't gather into barns, but they add much joy to our lives. If we can see the beauty in the flowers and in the birds, why is it such a challenge for us to see the beauty in one another? To recognize that the glass is half full, to focus on the good and that which is beautiful in our world. And some folks find that a lot harder to do than others. And I always think that those who find it the hardest to see beauty in the world around them, to see goodness in the people around them, those who find that the hardest have something else going on inside. There is a lack of inner peace for one reason or another. Because I know that when I overreact to something that's really, in the grand scheme of things, pretty insignificant, it's because I am preoccupied inside with something else that's going on in my life. And I'm not at peace. So when someone is irate over something, I always try to listen to clues as to what might be going on in their personal lives that they are so angry over something that in the long run doesn't matter very much. So for some folks who can't see the good and the beauty and the wonder, it's because something else is going on that's very painful in their lives. And then, of course, there are others who can't see the beauty because they just simply disagree with God's way of doing things. They disagree with Jesus' teaching. And they go through life thinking to themselves, if I were God, things would be a lot different around here. I'm not going to see the beauty. I'm going to call a spade a spade. I'm a man of tough love. I'm going to tell it like it is. None of this mercy stuff, none of this forgiveness, that's mamby-pamby, that's for wimps. I'm going to be my real self. Those people scare me to death because they are convinced there is nothing beautiful about our world at all. And sadly, some people admire that in others. Some people even marry people like that. So the gospel today is a challenge for all of us to see the beauty in life, to see the good in others, to give others the benefit of the doubt, to give people another chance. That's kingdom living. And at the end of the gospel, seek first the kingdom of God. In Matthew's gospel, Jesus says that 49 times. He is all about proclaiming the kingdom. So let's get on board. Let's get with the program. Let's practice kingdom living now and see the good in others and the beauty in our world. Let's practice living in the kingdom of God so that at the end, it won't be such a huge adjustment when we enter the kingdom of God and have no choice in the next life. And God says to us, well, you're going to have to get used to it. Because here, we only see good. We only see what is beautiful, no matter who is here. Hopefully, for most of us, that won't be an eternal adjustment, but we will very quickly be able to adjust to a life where all is good and all is beautiful, and that is all that we see.